Erika Kirk was not with her mother on September 10th. I will state that. I do not believe that Erika Kirk was with Lori Fontre on September 10th. I have now made a pretty big discovery. I will say allegedly, because you're supposed to say allegedly. This is a pretty strong series of tips that I received.
Again!
That Erika was with a woman named Tracy Martin. Now, she might be familiar to some of you guys who are in Arizona.
I feel a little bad. I feel like we bullied this poor girl. This poor girl just wanted to start a shamanistic witch hunt against Turning Point USA, and everyone called her stupid, and now she's like...
I'm interested in knowing more about Tracy Martin, so I will leave that there. We'll have a lot more for you on that and where the story is going and what else I know about that day, which leads me to believe...
In a very serious tone, Erika asks Nikki, what do you think of the backlash that you're getting from your industry?
You are getting a lot of backlash from your own industry. What is your reaction to that?
I didn't notice.
Amen. I feel the same way. When people are like, what do you think about them? I'm like, I don't think about them.
Bingo.
And notice what happens to Erika as a result. She immediately comes to life, big smile, big agreement. We see that open mouth smile again as she nods. She goes, amen. She leans in. At that very same moment, we also see an eyebrow flash, which in the research shows that universally we use to emphasize things, and Erika Kirk uses the eyebrows to emphasize a lot. But I can promise you that Erika saying that the negativity doesn't affect her at all is not entirely honest. Because if we go back to the interview that she did with CBS, she was asked about Candace Owens and the people who listen to Candace, and look at her reaction to the question then.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Does that look like someone who's not bothered by the negativity? We are seeing not just subconscious gestures, but conscious efforts to make sure that the viewer understands how furious she is at Candace Owens and how furious she is at the people who follow Candace and listen to what she says. And we're seeing it all over her face that she is not happy about that. The answer from that interview does not align with the attitude in this interview. They don't match. And I could foresee that a few people will comment and say, well, no, obviously she's affected by the negativity, wouldn't you be? And that's the point I'm making. Yes, I would be. Anybody would be. It's normal to be. When all of a sudden you're thrown into the public eye involving your husband, which is one of the most high-profile cases in the last 10 years, and there's all these theories flying around, and there's all kinds of people saying stuff about you, it's very normal for that negativity to affect you. So I think what we saw there is her just really trying to connect with Nicki Minaj and keep this kind of best friend vibe that they have on stage going on. But in reality, I think if you look at her other interviews and just apply logic, it doesn't make sense that the negativity just rolls off her. Very few people will be able to actually do that.
She's a great friend. Look, I don't agree with everything Candace says, but you know what I don't do? I don't stop being friends with people just because people morally blackmail me. I don't do that, and you shouldn't either. Look, I have different views on things as Candace. I have different views on Israel than Candace. I have different views on a lot of geopolitics. But honestly, I traveled the country with Candace. I went to her wedding. I saw her meet her husband. I went to Israel with Candace, which is a fun story I'll tell you at some point. But what I don't like is when people demand, you must stop being friends with somebody. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a left-wing tactic. Don't do that. I'm not saying you do that, but other people do that. We should never resort to that. In fact, if you believe what I believe, shouldn't you want me to be friends with people that don't agree with us? Shouldn't you want me to also be a tool of influence? And so I think the world of Candace. She's a great mother. She certainly has very, very fun opinions at times. And she's a great talent. She says a lot of stuff that sometimes I don't agree with, but that's what makes our relationship and our friendship interesting. My advice to all of you, you might not like somebody, but never tell somebody like me to stop being friends with somebody on an interpersonal level just because of disagreement. It's bad. It's what the left does, and we should rise above it as conservatives. Thank you so much.
Last week, we introduced you guys to Tracy Martin. Remember, Tracy Martin is Erika's best friend for over 15 years. How close are Erika and Tracy? They've done everything together. Tracy says Romanian angels. Erika modeled for her clothing brands. All of it. I've also received a solid tip. This is shocking that Tracy's daughter is actually Erika's assistant. I'll put an allegedly there because we've got to confirm that information. But the source knows these people. And remarkably, this is the shocking part, and this I don't have to put in allegedly because I have text messages from September 11th. Tracy told friends that her daughter, possibly Erika's assistant, was supposed to be at UVU on September 10th, but Tracy had a bad feeling about it. Wait, Erika's best friend had a bad feeling about what was going to happen on September 10th? Yep. And so she stopped her daughter, Erika's assistant, from going. Tracy had a divine intuition that her daughter should not go to UVU, but she didn't share that with Erika about maybe she should have said her husband shouldn't have gone to UVU. Maybe if you would share that, if it's your best friend, maybe did Erika talk to her alleged assistant about that? Hey, maybe we shouldn't go. My mom's saying I shouldn't go because she's a bad feeling something bad's going to happen. And then something bad does happen. And it's like, thank God Tracy didn't send her daughter because she had a bad intuition. But did she share that with Erika? Does that sound right to you guys? Is that tracking for you guys at all?